The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that on Monday, April 7th, the episode brought the audience a series of breathtaking and emotional developments. When Liam just survived emergency surgery and began to wake up after Steffi plunged into the past with romantic memories. Below are the detailed developments, analyzing each eye-catching moment of this dramatic episode. Hospital scene. Steffi's anxiety and Dr. Grace's hasty decision from the very first minutes of the episode. The atmosphere in the hospital turned into a tense and suffocating atmosphere. Steffi, with worried eyes and a pounding heart, continued to panic when receiving the news that Liam was nearing the time to cut off his life. It was in that situation that Dr. Grace, who always brought confidence through professionalism and agility, promptly took the pulse and made a life-threatening decision, immediately taking Liam into the operating room to treat the brain hemorrhage. Brain hemorrhage, with its dangerous nature, requires urgent intervention to prevent irreparable brain damage. Through that decision, not only Steffi but also the audience felt the pressure every second in the battle between life and death. Fragile hope in a critical condition. When Liam was taken into the operating room, the scene inside the surgery appeared with vivid images of the medical team working tirelessly. The doctors, including Dr. Grace, demonstrated high professionalism when having to deal with Liam's constantly changing indicators. Although the emergency surgery helped Liam's condition show signs of improvement, the atmosphere in the hospital was still filled with suspense and anxiety. Dr. Buckingham, a neurologist, spoke up to confirm that, despite a certain recovery, Liam was still in a critical state to the point where it was impossible to make a definite prediction about the future. Time is an unforgiving enemy. Every second Liam is unconscious reduces his chances of a full recovery, and any further incidents could leave him facing more complicated surgeries or serious brain damage. Strange signs from the CT scan and questions for Steffi after the surgery. When the doctors reviewed the results from the CT scan, they noticed many strange collision points appearing, which prompted Dr. Buckingham to immediately question Steffi about what had happened before. This question was not only intended to gather medical information, but also opened up a big mystery. Could Liam's accident have come from some accident right outside the Spencer mansion? Steffi, at that time, was completely confused because she only remembered finding Liam unconscious on the ground, not having time to identify the potential factors that caused the accident. Dr. Buckingham's question was like a key to unlocking the unsolved mysteries, at the same time adding more pressure to Steffi's shoulders, who was already overwhelmed with the fear of losing the person she loved the most. The fateful statement, Liam owes Steffi his life. In the serious atmosphere after collecting data from the CT scan, Dr. Buckingham made a statement that made the atmosphere even more tense. Liam, according to the current signs, owes Steffi his life. This statement not only had a medical meaning, but also contained a deep emotional message, emphasizing the unbreakable bond between Liam and Steffi. Immediately, Steffi could not hold back her emotions. The tears falling down her cheeks became a testament to pain, regret, and intense love. In her tearful speech, Steffi emphasized that their relationship was built not only on happy moments, but also on difficult challenges, and through that, Kelly, a character with special meaning, further enhanced the sacred bond between them. Memories and decisive action. The push to bring Liam back. The tension was broken a bit when Steffi, after being overwhelmed with romantic memories and pain, took a decisive step. It was in that moment that she used all her heart and inner strength to push Liam up. When Liam slowly began to blink, a sign of rosy hope, Steffi's emotions surged, mixed with joy, relief, and fear for the future. The scene where Liam held Steffi's hand tightly, trying to turn to look at her, was not only a sign of physical revival, but also a manifestation of love, of extremely resilient mental strength. That moment brought Steffi great joy, as an affirmation that, no matter how cruel fate was, their bond could not be broken. The rich truth about memories and emotional conflicts, however, after waking up, Liam only remembers that he and Steffi were once married. This creates a complicated situation when his memories do not match the current reality. While Steffi is relieved to see Liam awake, she also has to face a difficult reality. Will she spend most of her time at his bedside taking care of her lover, when Liam seems to have no memory of the relationship they once had? The situation becomes even more complicated when Finn enters, trying to argue that according to new data and evidence, he and Steffi are actually married. This contradiction not only creates internal tension for Steffi, but also promises to open up a series of intense emotional conflicts, affecting the relationships of everyone involved in the story. The future is uncertain. Will Liam make a full recovery? After all the tense developments, the episode left the audience with a big question mark about Liam's future. With his critical condition still present, despite improvements after surgery, it is still uncertain whether Liam will need more complex surgeries, or whether the brain damage has left unpredictable consequences that will affect his entire life. The audience cannot help but worry about his future, and at the same time, they're curious to see where the relationship between Steffi, Liam, and Finn will go. All of this creates a conflicted picture where love, responsibility, and fate seem to be inseparably intertwined. In short, the episode of The Bold and the Beautiful on Monday, April 7th, is not only a series of breathtaking medical details, but also a poignant emotional story about sacrifice, love, and fateful connection. Every step of the character, from Dr. Grace's quick reactions, Dr. Buckingham's anxious warnings, to Steffi's emotional and decisive actions, all contribute to weaving a dramatic and engaging story, making the audience unable to take their eyes off. Will Liam overcome this challenge and fully recover? Will the love between him and Steffi withstand the storms of fate? Only time and the next twists of the story can answer, promising many more surprises for fans of The Bold and the Beautiful in the upcoming episodes. At Forrester Creations, the atmosphere in the mansion is becoming increasingly tense as the relationships and power within the Forrester family are tested to new limits. The heated debates between Brooke, Carter, and Ridge have opened a new chapter in the film's tumultuous journey, as all beliefs, emotions, and personal interests are interwoven into a complex and dramatic picture. Below is a detailed analysis of each moment, helping the audience deeply feel the conflicts and difficult decisions behind the doors of Forrester Creations. Brooke speaks up to protect Hope's lineage at Forrester Creations. Brooke cannot hide her indignation when she realizes that Hope is being treated by a completely different standard than Carter. Brooke believes that, in society and within the family, every individual needs to be evaluated and treated fairly, regardless of the past or complicated connections. In Brooke's view, the Hope lineage is not just a continuation of a generation, but also a symbol of the beliefs, traditions, and values that the family has built over time. She brought strong arguments to Ridge, arguing that restoring the Hope lineage would help the Forrester family to be more solid on the path of development and maintain the prestige of the famous brand. Brooke's words not only came from enthusiasm, but also from sincere concern for the future of the Forrester lineage, wanting to preserve the core values of the family. Brooke's intervention and Carter's reaction. Not only did Brooke present her point of view, she also tried to urge Carter, who had a great influence on the final decision, to support the proposal to restore the Hope lineage. Brooke believed that with Carter's support, her point of view would have more weight in the eyes of Ridge and the Forrester Creations leadership. However, when forced to choose between further internal conflict and maintaining the status quo, Carter admitted that he did not wish to cause more chaos. He appeared tired of the pressure and endless arguments, verbally showing ambiguity and hesitation in choosing between personal gain and family stability. Carter's admission was not only a refusal to negatively impact the Civil War, but also implied a sense of conservatism in maintaining the promises that had been given earlier. promised commitment to keeping Hope's lineage in the heated exchange. Carter asserted that he had received a promise that Hope's lineage would be kept intact, without interference or change. This statement not only made Carter's position clear, but also showed his commitment and seriousness to family commitments. For Carter, protecting the family's traditions and heritage was not only a duty, but also a sacred responsibility to the values that had been forged over many generations. That promise served as a reminder not only to Carter himself, but to everyone involved that every decision needed to be carefully considered to avoid disrupting the carefully constructed structure of the Forrester family. Ridge and his uncompromising view of Hope's actions in the face of the conflict between Brooke and Carter. Ridge spoke out to assert that Hope, despite her controversial actions, was not wrong in his view. To Ridge, Hope's actions were seen as an integral part of her development and self-affirmation, something he believed would benefit the family in the long run. This difference between Carter's commitment to tradition and Ridge's flexibility in assessing Hope's actions based on his own personal views created a deep gap in opinion within the Forrester family. Ridge not only refused to listen to Brooke's arguments, but also believed that she had crossed the line, further asserting his power and dominance in managing the Forrester family. Ridge's hardline decision towards Brooke more than just refusing to listen. Ridge made a hardline decision to the point of cruelty when he kicked Brooke out of the mansion. In that moment, Ridge announced that he did not want to see Brooke again, a statement that blew away any hope of reconciliation between the factions in the family. This action not only showed Ridge's authoritarianism, but also showed a version of a leader who was intolerant of dissent. Kicking Brooke out of the mansion was a clear sign of someone who was protecting his power, refusing to let anyone shake the order he had outlined for the entire Forrester family. Ridge's decision to leave and hand over the job to Steffi after a series of tense arguments. Ridge announced that he would leave Forrester Creations after handing over the job to Steffi, a sudden but meaningful decision. This not only raised many questions about Ridge's future, but also shocked the entire Forrester staff and family. This decision could be seen as a way for Ridge to seek a change in life, or simply an act of punishment for opinions he did not agree with. Handing over the job to Steffi also showed Ridge's faith in her management and decisiveness, but at the same time, it also put new pressures on Steffi when she had to take over a heavy and challenging legacy. Will it be Paris and Taylor? In the end, the story became thrilling and full of mysteries when Ridge not only announced his departure, but also left a curious question: where will Ridge go? A rumor that he might take Taylor to Paris to propose to her quickly spread, creating endless speculation among fans. If this event happens, it will not only mark a new turning point in the relationship between Ridge and Taylor, but also open a new chapter full of romance and surprises for the entire Forrester family. Paris, with its romantic streets and artistic moments, promises to be the perfect setting for an emotional and dramatic love story. The question of Ridge's future, whether he will pursue new happiness with Taylor or have other plans, is the highlight that makes the entire episode more attractive and full of anticipation. Hope, with courage and intuition, spoke up and revealed that she had witnessed Carter kissing Daphne. This action was not only a violation of trust for those involved, but also a demonstration of betrayal in the relationship between key figures. Hope's public disclosure awakened a latent anger in Deacon, who always protected the interests and honor of the family, making him feel even more dissatisfied with Carter's dishonest behavior. Carter's betrayal and the consequences at Forrester Creations, not only at Isle Giardino. Carter's betrayal also spread to Forrester Creations, where important relationships and business decisions are formed. Here, Carter showed his carelessness when his actions not only hurt Hope, but also threatened the reputation, values, and traditions that the family had cared for a long time. This action gave Deacon a legitimate reason to stand up, as he realized that he could not be satisfied with disrespect, especially when it could directly affect a child he cherished. The fierce confrontation at the design office when Deacon appeared at Forrester's design office, where the brand's creativity and reputation were protected bit by bit, he could not hold back his anger. Deacon spoke up strongly, asserting that Carter's actions had not only upset people, but also directly hurt his daughter. He warned that this was a terrible move, unforgivable, and would not be accepted under any circumstances. Deacon's condemnation was not only a warning, but also showed the determination of a father who protected family values, ready to stand up against anyone who encroached on the happiness of his loved ones. The dramatic battle between Deacon and Carter not long after Deacon's fierce warning, the confrontation between him and Carter erupted into a dramatic battle. The tension escalated to the point that the atmosphere in the design office seemed to be filled with criticism, angry looks, and uncompromising actions. In that moment, both opponents showed their mettle and determination to protect what they believed was right, while asserting their personal power. This battle was not only a clash of opinions, but also a confrontation between pride and loyalty, where every word and every gesture had a decisive meaning for the future of this complicated relationship. Predicting the price of the confrontation, the tension between Deacon and Carter has led many to predict that, if the battle continues like this, one of them may pay a heavy price, even death. Comments suggest that, in the confrontation between these two unequal opponents, a heavy loss or even death could come as a dramatic turning point, throwing the entire family and business into chaos. This prediction further increases the level of suspense and anxiety, as the audience wonders who will be the one to trade their lives for their principles and self-respect. Will death replace Liam after he wakes up? In a context where people are still wondering about Liam's fate after he wakes up from critical hours, the question arises, will death replace Liam's position in the plot? Liam, who has just survived and brought signs of revival, may now be caught up in a whirlwind of new events. If either Deacon or Carter suffers the price of the confrontation, could that loss open a new chapter, change the balance of power, and create deeper conflicts? This question is not only a dramatic hotspot, but also a reminder that, in the complex world of the bold and the beautiful, sacrifice and death always have unforeseen consequences, which can shake the foundation of an already difficult relationship. In short, the heated events at Il Giardino and Forrester's design office have pushed the relationship between the characters to a state of tension to the climax. From Hope's revelation about Carter's dishonest actions to Deacon's outburst of anger when protecting his daughter and family values, everything is pointing towards an uncompromising confrontation between the two characters. This dramatic battle not only shakes the audience, but also opens up many questions about the future, especially the question of whether death can replace Liam after he is revived. All developments promise to continue to be exciting, creating a thrilling and tumultuous plot in the upcoming episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh,